Hi, I'm Jillian with the Jump Living Group and Jump Real Estate. Today we're going to talk about the question, what is earnest money and why is it important? Earnest money is money that you put towards a contract. Once you're under contract, it's money that you give to someone that's going to hold the earnest money. Either a title company, sometimes real estate companies will hold the earnest money in a separate escrow account themselves. I usually have a title company hold the earnest money, but it's a piece of your down payment that you're going to give ahead of time to show a seller that you are truly interested in the property and sort of have the money to back up your interest in the property. In Colorado, the contract is written for the most part to protect the buyers. So there's several places in the contract where you can get out of the contract and still get your earnest money back. If you were to break the contract, as in maybe change your mind the day of closing and decide, hey, I just don't want to buy this house anymore, then the seller would get the earnest money. A few different ways you can get your earnest money back and still get out of the contract is on inspection. You can terminate based on your, subjective opinion based on inspection. You can also terminate based on property insurance. This is also subjective, so you can just say, hey, I don't like the property insurance. It's too expensive. It's too complicated. I want to get my earnest money back. You can also get your earnest money back based on HOA documents. So if the HOA documents you're not okay with, let's say you're buying into a neighborhood and you decide you really want backyard chickens, they're not allowed, you can terminate based on that and get your earnest money back. So as a seller, why is earnest money important? Well, I guess it does show that a buyer has the finances to put a little bit of money towards the property. They at least, have $5, $10, $15, $20,000 to set aside while they're under contract on your property. So it might show financial ability, also commitment. If somebody's not willing to put earnest money in, it might make you wonder, are they truly committed to this property? But also from a seller's perspective, I have sellers ask, what good is this earnest money really if they can get out for so many reasons? The last reason that people can usually terminate is based on the loan availability deadline. So let's say, you've gone 30 days into the contract, a couple days before closing, the lender changes their requirements and says, hey, I'm not going to count this income that I said I was going to count, or you went and bought a car, you can no longer get the loan. Well, then you can terminate based on loan availability and get your earnest money for that reason. So for that reason, for a lot of sellers, it seems a little bit like, why are we even bothering with the earnest money? So Andy and I are currently under contract on a house that we are selling, and there is $0 earnest money. It's been very interesting, and we sort of thought, okay, we'll see what happens and take a chance on these people. Everything besides their earnest money shows us that they really do want the property and that they're going to be able to close on it. So it's supposed to close next week. So I guess I will let you know if the $0 earnest money turns out to be a big deal or if it's okay. Another thing that comes up sometimes is people trying to figure out where they can get their earnest money. Earnest money needs to come from somewhere that's trackable. So either from a checking account, savings account. You could pull it out of an IRA or something like this, but you can't put earnest money on a credit card. That being said, if you are a buyer, it is good to have an agent watching all your dates, making sure that you do have a way to get your earnest money back if you decide to terminate on a property, and make sure those are all within the contractual reasons, because you do have several contractual reasons, but if you get past all those dates, then you do stand a chance of losing your earnest money. Obviously, there's a good reason why people do have earnest money as part of their contracts. If you would like to discuss this more or are thinking about buying or selling in the Denver Metro Foothills region, feel free to reach out. I'd love to talk to you.